Welcome back, everybody. We have some special members today for Organization Savage. We have What's Some Anime Reviews, aka Batman Live 2002. Shout yourself out, my man.
Hey, man, and by the way, it's What's Awesome. It's Alex. What's awesome?
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to make a soft joke out the game.
But yeah, this is Batman Live 2002 over from the What's Awesome Anime Reviews podcast, and I'm just happy to be here.
All right, next up on the list, we have a returning legendary, my man, the anime nerd, 92. What do you have to say to the people?
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Anime Nerd. Hopefully everybody's ready for this, Avenger topic, because I know I am. That's why I haven't dropped a podcast yet about it, so let's go.
And lastly but not least, for your reference, the people who have some of the highest energy I've come across in podcasting so far. Let's hear from them.
Well, now we've got to bring it, right? You've got your girl, Katie.
And OT.
And it's good to hear from you guys. Okay, warning, full spoilers ahead. This is not a joke. Avengers has dropped, and we are about to dive deep into every aspect of this movie. Yes. So who would like to take the floor first with their opening statement?
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Let me jump right in. Because, when they first started this movie, the Avengers, they've been defeated. They're sitting back. You got Thor. Thor seems to have, and you guys can chime in on this, but he seems to have some mental issues.
When I think Thanos really did put it into him back then, just like he did the Hulk.
So,
the Hulk took it the worst, though. Okay.
Oh man,
the Hulk didn't come back with a beer belly. What do you mean?
but
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Hulk didn't even try to fight or anything. He was like, I don't want to do that. Cause I know he's mixed with Banner and everything like that. But look, he went out like a wuss, technically, in the first one, and he stayed that way completely. Like he didn't even try to do anything.
Well, he threw a bench really far during in one scene he threw a bench, so you gotta give him that. He still had some anger going on. But
I think that's a good point that you bring up. Do you think that his sort of mental issues were there from the start, or do you think they just put it to give us feels and emotion?
I think that they was there after his father died, to be honest, because remember he did have to kill his sister, technically speaking, and then the thing with Loki, he lost a lot on it. I think he lost more than any other Avenger, to be honest.
Yeah, he lost
in that situation.
He lost. I'm glad you said that. He lost both his parents and his siblings, and
he lost his planet.
Yeah, he lost his planet.
I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's easy having Russell Crowe as a dad either.
I'm pretty sure it ain't. It definitely ain't. It can't be.
But you know what? I said that he went through the most character development out of all of the Avengers. Because if you go back to his first movies compared to Thor Ragnarok, where in his first movies he's really serious. He doesn't really say any jokes or anything like that. He develops this kind of a sense of humor where he doesn't take anything seriously. I think that's after Thor Ragnarok.
I would contribute that to the fact that at least while he's on Earth, he's basically invincible. Who on Earth is really going to stop Thor?
Yeah.
Hey, what you mean? I know a couple of people.
That have been revealed so far.
Hey, I'm just saying, look, I'm not a fan, but I'm hearing Captain Marvel is the strongest Avenger.
She wasn't. She was just a nuke who was there for 15 minutes?
Bro, she was there literally from the beginning and then came back at the end, and then I don't know about you guys, but there was people there's literally articles complaining that she didn't do enough. And
why did anyone, if she's so powerful, why did we need 20 movies? She could have wrapped it up in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's Captain Marvel's story is just
and it's okay because I am of the female persuasion, so I'll say it. She needs to smile. bitch needs to smile.
Hey, look, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want people to become like the all.
I didn't want to be called sexist.
Yeah,
you know.
I got you.
I appreciate that. We got 4 year reference to half the female side of the podcast, y'all.
Thank you. Hey, look, I feel much better now that somebody said it because I'm like, for me, don't get me wrong. I think it's the actor who made Captain Marvel not like
Yes.
It really is because I felt like if we had a different actor, Captain Marvel would have. I probably would have been a lot more accepted. But like from the start, Brie, I know I'm pretty sure she's cool people or whatever. But Brie Larson came out and acting like she's this and she's that. She ain't had to go through what half of these characters go through. Like Iron Man, like if Iron Man came out like that, I'm pretty sure the Marvel universe wouldn't be what it is. And I don't think she really shows the respect that these people deserve. She want diversity now. She just recently said she want them to speed it up. She want this. She want to be like a hero. And I'm like, man, see, so like to me, I really feel like she's trying to push her agenda. And like I did a podcast like 2 days ago talking about politics, entertainment, and video games and stuff, and like people pushing their agendas. And you tend to see people not wanting to see it because people are trying to push their belief onto other people. It just don't work.
Yes. And you know what? Let me tell you this, man. That you hit the nail on the head with the acting thing. Her acting is so robotic. I couldn't put my finger on what was wrong with that movie. But then eventually I'm like, it was the actress. It really was. She is so robotic. She is so robotic. She doesn't show any real emotion except for sarcasm. She has that little smile she has, which is like, yeah, I'm never really in any real danger. And she's like, she doesn't take anything seriously. And the thing is, I feel that in the first Iron Man, I feel like Tony Stark was kind of like that, but the actor pulled it off. He was always kind of a douchebag, kind of.
But it worked though. It worked.
It worked for his character, and and Iron Man had a fantastic actor. But with Brie Larson, it was just her acting was so robotic. It killed. If they had another actress in there, then that would have been a whole different movie. I'll just say that.
I think which female actress? Hold on. Which female actress would you have wanted to replace her with then?
Issa Rae.
Yeah, she already got an answer for that one.
Yeah, like she's been debating on this for a while.
I just want Issa Rae everywhere.
I mean, anybody's better than her at this point.
I really don't care which actor performs, as long as they show some type of charisma to it. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could have kept it how the first Captain Marvel was, if they really wanted to. But if they wanted to go a different direction. Can I just add one point there? Yeah, go ahead.
So I do want to agree. She had zero personality. And I think part of the problem that you have in 2019, without getting too PC, is she wasn't allowed to have a personality, right? Because you have all of these people on the Twitter, all of these people that just, wouldn't, I guess they needed to have her to be perfect, and that doesn't really work in the Marvel sort of formula, right?
Yeah,
it definitely
does. I see what you mean.
Yeah, and there was no investment in her, any emotional investment. That movie didn't do enough for when she made her cameo or whatever. I'm just gonna call it cameo in Endgame.
Aside from her whole movie,
her cameos.
Yeah, and the sad part is, I guess we get back on track with the movie after this. But the sad part is when she showed up, and like at the end, without getting into spoilers just yet, when all the people showed up, it's like, oh look, it's that hero and everyone's cheering. Everyone's cheering as they're coming out of the vortexes, right? She shows up.
No one cheers.
No, one person cheered, and then he's like, "Whoa, oh, just me? Okay." And then
hey, I would have been laughing. Hey.
At my theater, no one cheered. They were like, "Oh, wait, yeah, I forgot she was even in this movie." I heard the person behind me literally say that. I was dying.
But when she showed up in my own, literally, you could tell there was some people who forced cheered. It was like everybody else was like, nah, man, it's not happening.
Exactly.
It's just like everything around her, like even. Oh wait, never mind. I'm not gonna go to the spoiler. I was about to go too far here.
I guess we should get back.
Spoiler cast, so.
I would just.
Well, also, it just has to do with the pressure that Wonder Woman puts on a lot of superhero movies, especially for women.
Ooh.
Like I think they tried to mimic a bit of what Wonder Woman was, and they just missed the mark.
Yeah.
And they really don't have to because they had Scarlet Witch, Black Widow.
Wow, now that you say that, that movie, Captain Marvel did feel like a DC movie, now that you say it. Oh, I didn't want to have to actually think about that, but now that you mention it.
Dang. But yeah, they didn't have to reinvent this character or try to model her after somebody else when the female, heroes in the Marvel universe, they already worked.
Yeah, every last one of them. You got Black Widow working her tail off. Ain't nobody said,
Black Widow. Oh my gosh. She put in the work. She was the backbone of the team.
Oh my gosh. That was and I knew something bad was gonna happen when they went up to that. I forgot what the mountain's called to get the soul stone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, somebody's gotta sacrifice themselves. And they sent the two people with no powers up there. I'm like, oh, crap.
I mean, it made sense. Let's be real.
I mean, do you really want to lose any of those superheroes? I'll take my chances of losing.
A portion of the team, to be real with you.
Yeah, and I was thinking to myself, like, why wouldn't they team these two up with, someone with a power? Like, all right, Black Widow, you go with Captain America, super strength and all that. And Hawkeye, you go with Thor, so that you can even out the distribution of power with non-power people. But then when they went up to the mountain, I was instantly thinking, they're gonna kill off one of the non-superpowered heroes. That's what they're about to do.
It's gonna sound messed up what I'm about to say, but the reason why they did that, like, let's be real. You lose one of the non-superpowered people, they're not gonna really affect the team that much.
Yeah.
It's true.
The leadership, though.
Okay, you lose leadership, but let's be real. I mean, shoot, you got.
Natasha was truly a great loss. Like, I'm not gonna deny that she was truly an Avenger.
I was sad when she did. I was like, man,
that was unexpected.
Honestly, I wanted Hawkeye to be the one to take the L because Natasha holds a very special place in my heart for an Avenger.
And you know what? I would have preferred for Hawkeye to die, but it's better that he didn't because the way this movie is structured in a way where you want to take the morally, righteous path. And she had nothing. She didn't have any family that we know of. They're about to come out with another movie. So obviously her movie is going to be a recap, I guess. About her past.
She somehow survived. We'll see. Well,
she's in the Soul Stone, so didn't her soul transfer to the Soul Stone, or am I mistaken on that? When is
I
that?
have no clue.
Actually, a plot hole that I thought about is that how did they technically return the Soul Stone without getting her back? Because they did return the stone.
So they should return the life, right?
Yeah, so I was thinking that they should have technically brought her back since they put her stone back in particular.
You got a point, but look, if you end up missing, it's because you go over there cracking Marvel's secrets. So I'm just gonna let you know that.
Tom Holland is still here. What do you mean?
Hey, well, he's Spider-Man. You can't just let Spider-Man disappear like that. All right.
And you know what?
So he's probably got a whole nother 10 movies in his billing, right?
Yeah.
He's young. He's fresh.
Yeah, they're gonna let him get to the age of 30. It's like, okay, he's too old.
Actually, speaking of that, who actually likes Tom Holland as Spider-Man?
I actually do. I think he played great Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's the Peter Parker from the cartoons. He's a wisecracking.
Hold on. Which cartoons? Hold on.
I'm gonna say spectacular Spider-Man Peter Parker, or maybe.
He's better than Andrew Garfield, though.
Oh yeah, totally. And does anyone want to relive Tobey Maguire and his dancing?
No,
I don't blame you for that.
I honestly like Andrew Garfield.
I like Andrew Garfield, especially with Tom Holland.
Man, I like Tobey Maguire. I was feeling Tobey.
Tobey Maguire's the favorite.
I rewatched those movies. I'm like, how did I like this movie? Don't get me wrong. In the earlier days, it's just it was more. I felt like it was like a lifetime movie for me. I'm like, nah.
They were cheesy, but they had their charm. my personal opinion on that. They were super cheesy, but they had a certain level of charm that just they don't compare to today's comic book heroes.
Yeah. They don't hold up. It just don't hold up.
Yeah, it's a different flavor of writing and different flavor of character, definitely.
Yeah. But,
At least I know I've been outvoted, and everybody loves Tom Holland.
But one thing I did want to say though was during the scene with Black Widow, and she throws herself on the mountain. They said, or Red Skull, he's like, you have to sacrifice something, your most loved, whatever. Didn't Black Widow kill herself? So how does that work? If you have to sacrifice your most or beloved thing, or
maybe she loved herself.
I was about to say she loved herself.
I could see her standing in the mirror for a few hours a day. I mean, with a body like that, how can you not admire yourself? I'm just saying.
She's like, I'm Scarlet.
Now that's the movie we should be seeing. You need to write that, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's like, technically speaking, you're supposed to sacrifice something that you love the most. So I was like, they killed themselves, or they were attempting to kill themselves. Not like Hawkeye threw her off, or the other way around. She jumped off willingly by herself. Though he was holding on to her, so maybe, I don't know, I'm overthinking it. Anyway.
Oh, actually, one moment that I found hilarious is in the beginning, like in the first 10 minutes of the movie when they went to kill Thanos. The thing that caught me off guard is when they actually succeeded in killing Thanos.
Exactly.
Right, and then as soon as Thor cuts off his head, I'm like, wow, okay, and roll credits. I guess I'm out of here.
What do I do with all my snacks? I was ready for 3 hours. What do we do?
I was like, geez, that's it?
I think everybody was shocked when that happened. I know I was. I'm like, oh, this is it?
Like, okay, I guess that's Endgame, everybody. Time to go home.
Best movie alive.
You all knew time travel was going to be a thing. So, but yeah, that was super shocking. I was like, holy crap, he went ahead.
So, I'm not going to lie. The moment with Hawkeye and Black Widow was up there. I know technically Hawkeye is married, but it looked like for just a little bit that they were going to kiss. I don't know. There's always that weird tension between them.
It was they're just really good friends. They just have that very good dynamic.
Clearly, they was. I was like, wait, are they about to kiss? And then they put their head on each other like forehead. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, oh damn.
Nah, Clint has a family. He ain't finna do that.
Yeah, I know.
Playing in Budapest, they keep bringing that up. Remember Budapest? Oh yeah, I remember that. I feel like there was perhaps a one night stand going on there, and they decided to just be friends.
Oh my gosh.
I agree. Hey, look, we over here making our own theory.
Exactly. We're making up our own story here.
All right, so what did you guys think about Hulk? Let's rip into this one.
Oh, you already know. I'll go for this one. That was a weak move by Marvel. Look, I love you guys, but Hulk, he was trying to get Hulk talking about no. You remember in Infinity War, he didn't want to come out, and then then Banner fused with Hulk, kind of messing up the Hulk. Because when we think of Hulk, we think of this mean, angry dude who's just going to smash stuff and destroy stuff. Instead, we got this intelligent Hulk who don't even want to break stuff or smash. She's like, oh, that's so barbaric.
Hold up, he did throw that bench. Remember?
Oh, bench. I mean, look, the Hulk I knew was going to throw a car. He's going to throw stuff. He's going to smash a puny god. He's going to stomp on him. He's going to do all that stuff.
So you're not okay with pacifist Hulk?
No. I want toxic masculinity Hulk. Okay, let me get this.
With all the problems.
You want on the Schwarzenegger Hulk? Yeah, Hulk smash.
I'm gonna let you guys talk because I have a different opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah, me personally, I do love the angry smash everything Hulk, and it killed me because he's more funny. I mean, I understand that they needed Bruce Banner's mind, which is why I thought that they were going to go the route of if they needed to switch bodies, Banner will come out and then Hulk will Hulk up. That's what I was hoping for. And then seeing that they fused the mind with a more Banner-sided body, it did kind of let me down. Because I feel like even basic Hulk, even in the Avengers Assemble animation, basic Hulk could get missions done. which is why it kind of killed me that they wouldn't throw, our Hulk in there to get some work done, because I feel like it would have been even better. Just have him going crazy and like give us World Breaker Hulk, the Hulk that we were robbed of for so long, and they still didn't give it to us.
They robbed us clear as day. All right.
What do you think for your ref?
How strong is the Hulk? If we were to line up all of the Avengers, how strong is he? Maybe he's that one character in an anime that always gets injured, because if they were to be in it, they would end it all.
I think physically wise, Hulk is the strongest Marvel character, if I'm correct. Physical strength wise.
Yeah, that's why he
his
literally
anger is enough to rival. Even like they said, his anger was enough to rival Captain Marvel's supernova.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, he has fought like literal gods besides Thor, so yeah, Hulk is definitely strong.
I think part of the problem that you have with a character like Hulk is he's good value, and you know what the Hulk is. But when you're stretching movies out for so long, you kind of need to give them some sort of development.
Like nerf him down a little bit.
Yeah, and then that's why he's out here like, what's his name? Hank from X-Men. He's like a beastie sort of guy, and he's just sitting behind a computer like 50 Cent with his glasses.
Jeez. Shout out to 50 Cent.
This is sorry, we derail a lot, but it just, when you guys were talking about the intelligent Hulk, it just reminded me of Beef from X-Men as well.
Man, that's a beautiful comparison right there. But I mean, it's Professor Hulk is a development of the character, and like you were just saying, it's we over the course of all these movies, we've had one version of Hulk, the Smash, Hulk Smash. You can only go so far with that. So in this, I liked Professor Hulk because he had personality, and it shows that he has control over his other side. Besides, Bruce Banner having control over the monster. And sure, in the last battle, I wasn't too happy about the fact that he didn't just go full beast mode, because that would have been...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that last battle, did Hulk even do anything, to be honest?
He didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he didn't even fight.
He needed that rematch with Thanos, okay?
Yeah, he really did. That wasn't
they kept it to the important, pivotal moment.
Yeah, but I say throughout the rest of the movie, the fact that he was the big green guy, but also the professor was in control, I really like that about Hulk. It made him a better character for me personally.
I think they could have mixed their personality just a tad bit.
That's what I'm like that. That's what I mean, because like in the comics, once they finally come to terms with each other, it's like that either or. They can switch between both, which is what I wanted to see. Like, I didn't want to see one personality dominate, since the Hulk has always been that split personality at heart.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they could have. I feel like he should have just let the Hulk take control at the end. But the fact of the matter, because at the end of the last movie, I can't think of the name of the other. What's the name of the other movie prior to this? I can't even think of it. It's my mind.
You're kind of backing away from your mic there.
Oh, can you hear me now?
We can, but it's like you sound far away.
How about now?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, at the end of the last movie, it showed that struggle, and now 5 years later, it shows that the professor won that struggle. So I felt like that was great character development. But yeah, he should have got that rematch at the end. That's all I'm saying.
And okay, one thing that I want to touch up on before we go into the battle scene, because I know everyone here is hyped to get into that one in particular, but Captain America, they derailed his character so hard at the end of the movie. Like, that was not faithful to his character, and I didn't like that. And I'm not even a fan of Captain America.
You're talking about the whole time travel thing, and he's had to live out his life?
Yeah, that's not faithful to his character.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
Like, I feel like that's not what he would have done. He would have kept. Hey, I see you ain't got nothing important going on in life right now, so why not head over to Anchor.fm and make your own weak-ass podcast? And why Anchor US? Well, not only is the sign-up hassle free, but you will immediately be given to the tools you need to start your own successful podcast. And if that wasn't enough, with the click of a button, Anchor will distribute your podcast to all other major podcast hosting services such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher Radio, just to name a few. So what you waiting on? I want to hear your weak-ass stories too, so go make your own podcast already. Carrying on the good fight, because that's the Captain America we know. I mean, if anything, he would have, retired in a different manner than what he did, because Captain America's always been one that's about the objective. He sees the big picture, the long term. He doesn't let his personal, what he wants, it doesn't affect the need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the reason why they did that in that way, just like what happened to my man Iron Man, is because their contract was up and they was moving to a new direction. So they had to. I think
it also goes to show how I think it's more what Iron Man went through and how Iron Man ended up just made him think about or reevaluate his life up until then, and he missed a lot of what Iron Man had gotten, a family, and he wanted to experience that.
Yeah,
that's a good way to look at it.
When
you put it that way, I feel some type of way about myself now.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, way to bring out the feels.
You can also consider the fact that because all the other heroes are back, he doesn't accomplish his mission. The greatest mission in his life probably was to be able to return those stones so that he doesn't create a bunch of alternate universes. And once he did that, he's like, what else is there for me to do when we have...
But let's be real, we are going to miss America's ass. Even though he kicked his own ass, like America's ass was there for us when we needed it, and now it's no longer there for us.
That's the best line that I feel like everybody's gonna be using from now on.
Yeah, that's America's ass.
The other line, of course, is "I love you 3000." That line right there.
Two of the most iconic lines that will be used for the next year or two.
People are gonna be crying for the next decade at least before we get over. But
now let's rip. For your ref, I want you to take the floor on this one because I feel like you truly know what happened during that movie. Let's hear your thoughts for that battle scene. What did you think for that last scene of the movie?
I think it was the momentum of the movie didn't start to happen until like an hour and a half in. It was literally like recapping the last 20 movies and them trying to have the alternate timeline. So we were ready. We were ready for the battle scene even before we walked in the cinema. And to have everyone culminate together and, there's a hero for everyone, right? So when everyone started to come into the battlefield, they're all coming from the vortexes. There were different sections of our cinema that were just going off completely, except for Captain Marvel, which we've all established.
But yeah, can't get a break.
Yeah, right. But I think part of the problem with having so many characters is you couldn't really dive in too much in the battle because everyone wanted to see their 2 seconds of Shuri or see all their other different characters as well. But it was amazing. It's one of those like sort of experiences you need to watch in the cinema. And you need to have in the cinema. One of my favorite parts was when all of the strong women, again, we didn't need Captain Marvel there, but we had all these...
Just so much shade. It's amazing.
It's like,
it's okay. I'll send you my blog post after this. But when all of the women came out to help Captain Marvel deliver all the way through to the center, that was a very powerful moment. And I don't think it was forced. You know what I mean? I don't think it was like, we need to do this to make all the females happy. I really felt like that was pivotal to the moment. I don't know why Pepper Potts was there as well. Maybe I missed something.
She was like Iron Lady.
Yeah.
He did say that he had a suit for her, but it was kind of random that she was there.
Hey, but it was cool. She showed up for her man, though.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing Valkyrie, you're seeing Shuri, you're seeing Denai's character, Okoye.
Mantis.
You're seeing
all
of it.
Oh, yeah, man. Mantis, the most powerful female Avenger. Let's go.
Yeah. And then you just
get out of here.
And you're like, what are you doing here? Where you going?
I was just wondering during that female scene. I was like, Mantis is there. What is she going to do to anyone? Is she going to put them to sleep?
Hey, look.
Wait, and another thing that I'm actually confused about right now, you noticed that at the end of the movie, Quill was looking for Gamora, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so didn't she return to her own timeline? Because if she's stuck in their timeline, isn't that kind of breaking some rules here?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think they broke some rules, and they might have to rectify that in phase 4 now, I guess?
Yeah.
Hey, sadly talking, you finding too many plot holes over here, man.
Hey, man, I be paying attention to my movies. What you mean?
Hey, but now, my thing is let's talk about how G Thanos is. This dude literally knew what he wanted. He sat down there.
Yeah, that was tight.
And just literally talked to them, knowing that they were coming to, beat his ass. And still beat their ass. Look, I don't care what they say. Look, they know.
Hey, and then Captain America gave him the hammer, the shield, and everything else he wanted.
And let me tell you, when he picked up that shield, when the shield kind of hovered, it's like, oh, it's gonna go to Thor. And one thing Captain America.
Oh no, you mean the hammer? He said the shield.
Oh my bad. I meant the shield. I meant the hammer. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, when the hammer. It kind of hovered for a second. It's like, okay, Thor about to go in with his dual hammers here again. And it flew to Captain America, the whole theater, man.
Oh yeah, everybody was going crazy.
Hey, I know,
it
right?
was amazing. We were like, oh, it's finna be on.
I didn't know what I was watching for a second. I was like, wait, this doesn't seem right.
He was like, and then Thor was like, I knew it. He was excited.
Yeah. For a minute there, I was like, when did Captain America learn how to use the Force? But, okay.
Man, that
was it in Infinity Wars that he lifted the hammer? Because he's lifted the hammer before, and it just shocked. It shocked Thor, and we're like, we're not thinking much about it, but yeah, it was like everyone went crazy in the cinema when that happened as well here.
And if you want to think about, if you want to get deeper into it, perhaps that shows character development on his part, because you can only lift the hammer if you're worthy, and before he only budged it, which means that he still had growth as a character. But now he probably reached the place.
So you're saying in order to lift Thor's hammer, you need to be the perfect blonde American.
Well, I don't know about blonde.
That's what it
Don't think Falcon lived that how many times soon?
Like he wasn't there before, but now all of a sudden you're like, okay, now he's the perfect American. Let him get the hammer, guys.
You gotta lose all your loved ones, I guess, in a crazy snap. But yeah, so I think perhaps if you want to think about it deeply, maybe he went through the final phase of development at the end to be able to be like, oh, I'm worthy. Well, he's not really saying that himself, but he was worthy enough to fight with the hammer, which was amazing. That was probably the most amazing part of that movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to ask what happened to the hammer, but I just answered my own question because I remember Captain America took back the hammer.
Yeah, he went back in time with it. And
he probably just left it back.
Yeah, for the other Thor.
Because the Thor of that timeline is like, where the heck is my hammer? So he didn't even have a hammer. It's kind of messed up. So yeah, he took it back. One can assume that he returned it to the proper timeline for that.
I feel like a moment they could have done to make that particular moment better is if I know that it wouldn't have worked because they needed the stone, but the part in Thor: Dark World where he was getting tossed around and his hammer was like all around the universe. If they would have went back and took it then and like, I won't be needing it for a while anyway. I feel like that would have been a hilarious moment. It's just looking for it during the entire fight for the Dark World.
Yeah, but then they only had like one jump, so they had to jump into the perfect place with all the time skipping whatnot going on,
That time could have been a whole mess, but they did it good.
All right, and now a moment of silence for our true Avenger, Iron Man, everybody. Not only did he risk his life fighting Thanos, Doctor Strange gave him the look. He was like, you get one chance, nigga. And he took that chance.
Doctor Strange knew he was gonna die. Hey, look, straight up, Doctor Strange. If you listen, you can cut Steve's face. You kill my favorite person, and you knew.
He ain't killing him, man. Iron Man did it for the team.
Hey, look,
He did it for the team.
He knew.
Exactly, man.
Yeah,
that,
he snapped it and everything. Oh man, I didn't think Tony was gonna die, and it's honestly sad.
I literally,
he really was one of my favorite
that
Avengers.
literally. Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry, we should have warned y'all, but hey, too late.
No, Katie called it. Katie called it. As soon as Iron Man decided to go and help with the time jump, she said, he's gonna go because he's already had a family and he was going to do something to alter the time, bring everyone back, to put everything out on the line. It was just so written, and I didn't think about it. But Katie was like, he's gone. He's done. He's gonna die.
They were trying to pull at your heartstrings, right? So even at the start, he didn't want to do the time travel. Again, he had a whole family, he had a whole mortgage. He wasn't living for that life, right?
Yeah.
And then he had that moment with his father, and I'm like, mate, he's definitely gonna die. They're really trying to get that emotional investment here.
You're right.
And the advice that his father has been giving him all this time was probably prompted from him in this timeline. Right? So it's like full circle.
Yeah, that is so crazy. These timeline movies.
You just knew that he was gonna die. And as much as you didn't want him to, I guess it makes sense and it fulfills like the prophecy because it started with him, it ends with him. He's a big enough character to have that emotional weight, you know, instead of watching something for 3 hours and then not get any sort of reprieve.
Yeah, you got a point there because I know when Black Widow died, I think people were sad, but the whole theater, at least my theater, was shook.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, when Tony took the L, I was like, no, not Iron Man, the invincible Iron Man.
Yeah.
No.
And you know what? One of the popular theories was that Captain America was going to die. There were people I was like, oh yeah, I got the released script, you know, or the leaked script. Captain America was going to die at the end. So, you know, the whole time, in which I hadn't read that, but I was like, okay, I guess he's going to die. And all the popular theories was it was going to end with him. So when he stood up, he had the broken shield and, you know, Thanos and his whole army walks up. And then Captain America gets up by himself. He was going to go and fight by himself against a whole army. And then that's when, you know, Wakanda Forever, you know, decided to step through.
Wakanda Forever. You heard the Lion King in the background and everything.
You know, when the Black Panther stepped through the little portal?
Hey, it was game time. It was game time.
I said Wakanda Forever, and the guy next to me was like, yep. So,
I think I saw everybody in my theater cross their arms across their chest.
prior to
the little war call.
Oh yeah, oh man. But you know, prior to the reinforcements coming, we thought he was by himself. Which I don't know where Iron Man and Thor were at.
They were recovering, man. They had to recover.
They were just knocked out, but I thought he was gonna die right there. I thought that was it. And then I didn't know what was gonna happen after that. Then the whole, you know, the Wakanda army shows up and all that. I was like, yes, this is the scene we've been wanting this whole freaking time. Oh my god.
Now, I need to ask everybody, what are you excited for in Phase 4? Because I'm hoping within the next phase they start the Secret Wars arc before getting into the whole. Yeah, Secret Wars will be good enough for me right now.
Honestly, I just want more Spider-Man.
This guy.
And Black Panther.
This guy.
Look, my favorite, one of my favorite characters there. It's like there's an empty hole in my heart. You guys gotta give me some time. Right now, I'm walking around in a desert, trying to find myself, trying to find out.
Hey, hold on, but you forget this is Marvel. People do come back, you know, faster than freaking Dragon Ball Z around here. Comics.
Hey, look, let him die. He died. A warrior.
Yeah,
okay?
keep him dead.
Keep him dead. Look, I can't have this false hope.
Man, but I'm thinking about for Phase 4, the next phase, I want to see what they're going to do with. I don't want to see any more of Black Panther. I want to see when I think Shuri becomes the next Black Panther. I want to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, but T'Challa, yeah, that's
Yeah,
sometime in the future, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say he just got Black Panther.
Yeah, he just has one movie, my man. Jeez, let's kill off the king already. There can only be one.
Let's do the next 10 movies of Phase 4, and then kill him, or have him retire, or have him go into space doing something. I don't know.
You know what?
And
I
then
think it's time for a new Batman Live 2002. It's about
We don't lost a Batman, everybody.
Yeah. Anybody up?
I just want to see what they're gonna do with Shuri being the next Black Panther. Cause you know they're gonna do that. They kind of grooming her, kind of. You know that she's somewhat important, and they're gonna increase her importance throughout the next series of movies. And I just want to see, where that goes. So. And then, of course, I want to see what they're going to do with the Black Widow movie. Because I have a feeling that maybe, possibly, they'll do a recap movie or whatever of her past. And maybe at the end, some craziness is going to happen. She's going to somehow burst through the Soul Stone and then she'll be back or something.
I mean, I'm with it. I'll take it.
So I want to see. Those are the two things I'm looking forward to. And I don't know too much about the Marvel timeline, and my dad, he's a huge comic book fan, so he'll be able to tell you all this stuff. And I go to him when it's like, hey, can you tell me like what happened in the comic books and all that? And he'll tell me everything. He's like, yeah, Wolverine's the one that gave Thanos 3 scratches in his eyes. Like, oh, that's interesting. But anyway, isn't X-Men, isn't their contract up with with Fox or something like that?
Oh, Disney owns everything now at this point.
One World Disney.
Yeah, Disney owns your childhood, your past, your present, your future. Disney owns you, man.
They can hear us right now.
So, are we going to see some X-Men, which is going to change everything because mutants don't seem to exist in the Marvel universe right now.
Actually,
it's gonna be weird.
They're called Inhumans in the Avengers universe, I think.
So they're going to be called something else.
I think in the Avengers universe they're called but now that Disney owns the rights to everything, they might integrate it maybe, but I'm not sure because right now they say they have no plans to integrate X-Men with the MCU.
Because that's just too much. That's a lot of work. You gotta understand. That's a lot. You gotta
that's a 5-hour movie right there.
And then you gotta find somebody to play Wolverine, which that's gonna be hard to find because.
Oh yeah,
the guy who played Wolverine. Yeah, only Hugh can play Wolverine.
Hugh can play Wolverine.
Just like Robert Downey Jr. is the only Iron Man in my eyes. Anybody else is like, look at this Walmart value of a Iron Man.
But
we got budget heroes out here now.
You have to recast pretty much everybody because they already have their own timeline. These actors are already associated with that timeline. So to bring them over into a whole different timeline with the Avengers and stuff, it'll just be weird, because they don't exist in each other's universes right now. So to bring these same actors together would be very strange. But anyway, yeah, Black Widow, Shuri, that's what I want to see right there.
Well, my only side note to all this is Thor is not only the god of lightning, but he's also the god of beer and Fortnite. After threatening that kid on Fortnite, he learned his
Yo, that was funny. Hey, that was epic.
Like, does this dude just threaten a kid on the internet? Okay, Thor.
They gave this man a beer belly and everything. That's the reason why he didn't take down Thanos, because he was at half power, all that beer.
He was out of shape, all right? He was out of shape.
Gosh. And that bodysuit was terrible, man.
Hey, but that's what made it great. Yeah, that's honestly what made it great. They did Thor dirty until the end, but in the next movie, we already know that he's going to be back shredded with his 24 pack and everything. So
that's a great part about Thor. That's why I always say he's the greatest character development.
One thing I truly miss about Avengers is that like the relationship between Thor and Hulk has always been hilarious, and then they took that away in this movie. I didn't feel that huge friendship between Thor and Hulk.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely wasn't there.
Well, are you talking about like Hulk the monster, or are you referring to the
like Monster Hulk? Because they always just like were at each other's throats, but they were always doing it in a cool way.
They had that playful energy.
Though, like the monster wasn't even a thing anymore, kind of. So their relationship would be different because it's now the professor who's in control. So yeah, but I get you. What they did have some sort of synergy going on because it seemed like they were always competing with strength and all that kind of stuff.
Another thing is, I feel like they did a lack of combo moves. I mean, this is just me getting picky now.
Oh,
but
come on, man.
I love the OG combo moves from the comics that they were doing stuff like, man, it was just cool to see all that. Like, I'm still not mad. That battle scene was still the greatest of all time. I'm going to see it again. I have to go see that again.
Yeah, I got plans to see it again. I'm just waiting for the heat because right now it's hot right now. Everybody and their mama's trying to watch it, so I'm just waiting for my time to go ahead and slide back in there.
How about the
folks from Australia? Are you guys gonna go and see it again?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I was disappointed that no one was wearing costumes when we went to go and watch it.
Actually, people were wearing costumes at mine.
They didn't for mine, so.
I went at 6 a.m, so people were there in their pajamas. So there were 24 hours. So we were too tired to dress up. I was like, you know what? We go at 6 a.m, drew the line, screw all that.
And he was getting further away by the second. Hey, you're fading into the shadow realm.
Hey, look, that gotta be Captain Marvel. She probably getting mad over here. She's taking us out one by one.
Starting with Batman.
Someone's snapping their fingers.
Oh.
he's disintegrating into the
I did say I needed a new Batman, but I didn't mean now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
That phone sucks. Anyway, I was just saying, we went there 6 a.m. We were too tired to dress up. People in there in their pajama pants and stuff. We were out by like 10, 11 o'clock. So, yeah. we didn't have time for lines or nothing.
Damn, they didn't even serve breakfast at the movie?
And we went out to eat afterwards, but no. Not, that movie theater, they serve in theater meals and crap. They're like 20.
A dine-in.
Yeah, those $30 meals, screw that. I go to Denny's afterwards, man. What the heck?
I get security discount, so I'm straight. But
I had me a nice little America type of alcoholic drink. They like to do that promotion, so they had the Captain America drink.
Oh.
So I was over there drinking and getting lit at the same time at the movie theater.
This man stunting on everybody.
Hey, look, I'm trying to be classy. You gotta keep it classy. Gotta show my support.
That was all I actually had on my notes for the movies. Is there anything else anyone would like to add?
For your reference, it was really cool having a podcast with you guys. By the way, looking forward to
sending the love right back.
We would love to do future link up. So just let us know.
Anime nerd, maybe we should. I should drive about an hour and 30 minutes south. You drive an hour and 30 minutes north. We meet up somewhere in the middle. We go watch the movie again. Maybe we should do something like that.
Hey, like that. Well, speaking of that, you do know Code Geass is supposed to be coming out soon, right?
Okay, yeah, we linking up. He's only 3.
These guys.
30 minutes south of me, so we're gonna have to meet up somewhere in the middle. We're gonna do something.
Yeah, we got to. We gotta find a theater first in the middle that's actually showing it.
Oh yeah, but this just it was a good finality to it, because every other Marvel movie ever.
The Shadow Realm is claiming my man. And he's going. Oh no, tragedy.
It might be the sunken place as well.
Wait, am I back yet? Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just saying there was every Marvel movie ever has had. It always felt like they're building a story. It's a serial, so there's always a next part to it. But this one finally, there was no end credit or anything. It was it. If they decided not to make a Phase 4, I think people would still be satisfied. Of course they would be like, oh, we want more, but this was.
I'll be satisfied. You're right. I'm actually very satisfied with everything.
I at least know how it ends. So I'm good. I'm content like how it ends.
Yeah, so that's what I like about this is that there's a finality to it, and if they wanted to just end it all right here, hey, that's. I think most people will be happy with that.
I mean, probably not happy.
As long as you've got money in your pockets, they're still gonna put out movies. But just final thoughts, just in general for like the Marvel universe, I think they need to be cautious and not follow the same road that X-Men did, because they completely messed up the timeline to shove in more movies into the narrative. Like, and the only thing that was constant through all of the X-Men movies was Hugh Jackman was there, and I'm fine. I love seeing Hugh Jackman, but they completely messed the timeline. They had a whole series of them going back and forward in time, so they've done that already, X-Men, and then they've also got very similar sort of overlap. So, let's keep our heroes. But I guess if it continues to sell, it doesn't really matter. But I do appreciate cohesive sort of narratives. Yeah. OT?
Yeah, it was just, I think with the time jump, what they tried to explain that everything we know about time travel is wrong. And when Gamora killed Nebula and Nebula still just stood there, like,
yeah, thank you. Somebody else or something.
That's just like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, why is she not disappearing?
Yeah, it was just weird.
I was like, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna enjoy the movie.
It actually stuck with me so much because I was like, wait, but she just shot her sister, but okay. See, my theory for that honestly was, since her sister's basically all mechanical, maybe they fixed her. They might have changed their oil.
All right, but maybe, if to overthink it, of course, because I love doing that. Maybe they already created that alternate timeline that one bald-headed chick from the Captain.
The Sorcerer Supreme. Yes, that bald-headed lady over there.
The Sorcerer Supreme is talking about, you'll create all these different timelines. Maybe when she shot her sister, they already existed in two separate timelines. Yeah?
Oh, now that you say it, I forgot all about Loki. Loki's free again.
Yeah, that's true.
Loki is free again.
They need a movie of all the crap that Captain America had to go through by himself when he went to return all the stones. That should be a movie right there. That should be his final movie.
Or maybe just like a little bonus feature on the disc.
A bonus feature, 5 minutes of him running around, returning everything.
Honestly, I find that it probably would be hilarious. Like, trying to sneak back the stones into their places. That probably would be funny.
But I feel like he went through all kinds of crap to return. But then, like the Soul Stone, all he has to do is climb down. It's like, okay, Red Skull, here you go. Okay, bye.
Yeah, but imagine him returning Thor's hammer in his hand. Oh yeah, here, Thor. I don't need this anymore.
Exactly. What? How is this possible? Oh man. But yeah, that would be a cool movie.
Well then, anyone else got anything they want to add to all this?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right. Well, may I have everybody's closing statements for the podcast?
All right. Are we shouting out social media and stuff, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, this is Batman Live 2002 over from the What's Awesome Anime Reviews podcast. And you can follow me at What's Awesome. You go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. Type in What's Awesome. And you can follow me there. You do anime reviews and listing guides and all that on a regular basis.
Next up, anybody want to take the mic?
Okay, well, you guys go ahead and follow me. I'm Anime Nerd. You can follow me on my Twitter, Anime Nerd 92. It's pretty simple. And follow me on my Instagram, Anime Nerd 92 as well. Till then, I'll see you guys later.
All right.
And last but not least, my beautiful friends at For Your Reference.
Oh, you're even better.
Don't make me blush, please. I'm already ready enough.
So you've got KT and OT. We're at For Your Ref Pod. We've actually, our first episode was Black Panther. So if you want to hear us talk about Forrest Whitaker not pronouncing anything correctly, also talking about Fishmonger, not Fishmonger, what's his name? Killmonger.
Yeah, mispronouncing Killmonger's the Fishmonger.
Right? If you want to hear OT call Michael B. Jordan every variation except for Michael B. Jordan, and how he's a relatable villain. We've pretty much got that all in our Black Panther episode. We cover all different sorts of things. But essentially, if you want to hear less of what we covered and just random tangents, that's us. Twitter and Instagram For Your Ref Pod.
Okay, can I say one thing? The Forrest Whitaker thing. The moment he showed up on the screen, my sister turned to me. She's like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
And he got lost to the Shadow Realm again. And while he's in the Shadow Realm, guys, I'm Savage Otaku. You can find me at Twitter at Savage Otaku Life, not in the Shadow Realm. Okay, not the Shadow Realm part, but Twitter at Savage Otaku Life. And I just keep it savage 100, talk about games, anime, and whatever else the hell I feel like talking about. But until then, that's been everybody with the Podcasters Assemble. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.